Inventory. An inventory is stock of an item or idle resource held for future use. Inventory is simply a stock of physical asset having some economic value which can be used at a later time to meet expected or unexpected demand. So inventory is a physical asset or a stock of an item or idle resource held for future use. So it is a physical asset of some economic value which can be used later to meet the demand. Thus, inventory is a stock of goods which may be in the form of raw material, semi-finished goods, work in process, or finished goods. Okay, so an inventory is a stock of raw material, semi-finished goods, work in process, or finished goods which has some economic value and which can be used when the demand occurs. Okay, next, types of inventory or classification of inventory. Inventory can be broadly classified into two types. First, on the basis, first classification is based on material flow, and the next classification is based on nature of use. Okay, first one is raw material inventory. Okay, these parts are those input items going into transformation process. Okay, these are inputs to generate outputs like products. Okay, so raw materials are parts which acts as input which will transform to product. Okay, next, second one is brought out parts inventory. Brought out part inventories includes sub-assemblies, finished goods, components, tools, etc. These parts are those purchased from outside as per company's specification. So, brought out parts may include sub-assemblies, finished products, components, tools, etc., which are purchased from outside as per company's specification. Next one is work in process inventory. These are semi-finished products found at various stages in production operation. So these parts refer to semi-finished products found at various stages in production operation. Next, finished goods inventories. These are known as completed products. Okay, so finished good inventories. These parts refers to completed products ready for shipment. Next one is MRO inventories. Okay, the MRO means these refers to maintenance, repair, and operating supplies which are consumed in the production process but which do not become a part of product. Okay, these are consumed during the production process but which do not become a part of the product. Examples are lubricating oil, soap, waste cotton, coolant, etc. Okay, next, miscellaneous inventories. These are scrap, obsolete, and unsaleable products. Okay, so miscellaneous inventories refer to items other than those which we mentioned above. That means raw material inventory, brought out parts, work in process, finished goods, MRO. The other products are called miscellaneous inventories. Okay, They may be scrap, obsolete, and unsaleable products arising from main production. Stationery used in office and other items needed by office, factory, sales department, etc. Okay, these are mainly scrap, obsolete, and unusable or unsaleable products. Okay, next, classification based on nature of use. First one is anticipated inventories. Stock maintained for expected demand. So the stocks maintained for expected demand is called anticipation inventories. Okay, these are stocks maintained to meet the anticipated, that is expected demand. Example, seasonal demand. Fluctuation inventories. These are used to meet the unexpected demand. Okay, these are safety stocks maintained to meet the unexpected demand and thereby to avoid the risk of losing sales. Next one is lot size inventories. Goods are brought in large lots to get the benefit of discount. If we bought in large lots, or if we are purchasing goods in a group instead of a single one, we will get the benefit of discount. The goods so purchased are stocked until sale or use. Okay, lot size inventories are bought in large lots to get the benefit of discount. Next one is transportation inventories. When transportation of items requires long time, then items in transport represents the inventory. Okay. Disadvantages of inventory depletion. So inventory depletion and inventory accumulation will cause disadvantages, or these two are demerits. So a proper inventory control should be maintained in an organization. Okay, the inventory helps to maintain independent of operation. If enough supply of material is there, then the work center allows flexibility in operation. Okay, inventory also helps to meet variation in product demand. Okay, it also allow flexibility in production scheduling. It provide a safeguard for variation in raw material delivery. It take advantage of price discounts. It also utilizes the advantages of price fluctuation. It helps to prevent loss of orders. So we can conclude that an inventory is necessary. Okay, an inventory is necessary to maintain an independent of operation. If enough supply of material is there, then the work center allows flexibility in operation. So, first point, the purpose of holding stock or inventory is to maintain independence of operation. Second, the inventory helps to meet variation in product demand. As the demand is usually fluctuating and it is unknown, the demand is unknown, therefore a safety or buffer stock must be maintained to meet variation. Okay, inventory also helps to allow flexibility in Production scheduling. It provides a safeguard for variation in raw material delivery time. It also take the advantage of price discount. It also utilize the advantages of price fluctuation. It helps to prevent loss of orders. Okay, so we will discuss the disadvantages of inventory depletion. What are the disadvantages or harmful effects when depletion of inventory occurs? First one is production stoppage. Due to insufficient or due to lack of raw material, the production will be stopped. As the production stopped, the machine labor became idle. Idle machine capacity, idle labor will occur. And there will always have a fixed overhead. So burden of fixed overhead will be on the management. The due to depletion of raw material or the stock inventory, um, delivery failure will take place. That means failure to meet delivery orders, resulting into the loss of goodwill. The customer's goodwill will be affected. Okay. Next, disadvantages of inventory accumulation. So if the inventories are more, then storage space needed for storing the inventory will be more. As the inventories need capital or money, locking up of working capital will take place. High insurance charges and high taxes are levied. Greater handling and distributing cost will happen. High cost of recording and upkeeping and chances of pilferage or theft will occur. And also the deterioration of the quality of the inventory will take place. So the accumulation and depletion equally affects the production. Okay, so an efficient inventory control is necessary. Next, move on to inventory control. What is inventory control? Inventory control may be defined as the scientific method of determining what to order, when to order, and how much to order, and how much to stock, so that costs associated with buying and storing are optimal without interrupting production and sales. So, inventory control is the scientific method of determining what to order, when to order, and how much to order, and how much to stock. So, there are two basic decisions to be made, that are how much of an item to order, when the inventory of that item is to be replenished, that is order quantity. First one, how much of an item to order when the inventory of that item is to be replenished. Second question, when to replenish the inventory of that item, that is order level. Okay, these two questions are correctly answered by the inventory control. Okay, inventory control may be defined as a scientific method of determining what to order, when to order, and how much to order, and how much to stock, so that costs associated with buying and storing are optimal without interrupting production and sales. Next, functions of inventory control. First one, effective running of stores. Stores are the place where we are keeping or stocking the inventory. Okay, so effective running of stores includes problems of layout, utilization of storage space, storing media like shelves, bins, etc., receiving and issuing procedures. Okay, next, technological responsibility for the stage of merchandise. Okay, it consists of methods of storing, maintenance procedure, studies of deterioration and obsolescence. Okay, technological responsibility for stage of merchandise consists of method of storing, maintenance procedure, studies of deterioration and obsolescence. Next, stock control system. Okay, stock control system includes stock taking. After taking the stock, it should be recorded. So, stock level record. Next, ordering policies and procedures of stock replenishment. Okay. Next, objectives of inventory control. There are many objectives of inventory control. First one, to ensure continuous supply of materials. Okay, inventory control ensures continuous supply of material so that production should not suffer at any time. Second, to maintain the overall investment in the inventory at the lowest level, consistent with the operating requirement. It maintains the investment in inventory at lowest level. Next, to minimize holding, replacement, and shortage cost of inventories and maximize efficiency in production and distribution. Okay, it minimizes holding, replacement, and shortage cost of inventories and maximize efficiency of in production and distribution. Next, 4 points, to keep inactive, waste, surplus, scrap, and obsolete items at the minimum level. To keep inactive, waste, surplus, scrap, and obsolete items at the minimum level. Next point, to ensure timely action of replenishment. Next point, to maintain timely record of inventories of all the items and to maintain the stock within the desired limits. It maintains the timely record of inventories. Next, to avoid both overstocking and understocking. It avoids overstocking and understocking of inventory. Next, cost associated with inventory. There are mainly 4 costs. They are ordering cost, holding of inventory, or carrying or holding cost. Okay. Next, shortage or stock out cost, purchase cost. First, ordering cost. Ordering cost associated with the placement of an order for the acquisition of inventories. For the acquisition of inventories, we should place an order. For that, some costs will be there. The cost is referred to the managerial and clerical cost to prepare the purchase or production order. Okay. Ordering costs are costs associated with placement of an order for the acquisition of inventories. These costs refers to the managerial and clerical cost to prepare the purchase or production order. The ordering cost is also known as procurement cost, replenishment cost, and acquisition cost. Okay. So the ordering cost may include cost of staff of purchase department, cost of staff of purchase department, cost of stationery consumed for ordering, postage, telephone bills, etc. required in ordering. Okay, cost of stationery consumed for ordering, postage, telephone bills, etc. required in ordering, and depreciation costs and expenses for maintaining equipments required for ordering, receiving and inspecting incoming item. The depreciation cost and expenses for maintaining equipment required for ordering, receiving and inspecting incoming items. Okay. Next, inspection cost of incoming materials. Next, holding or inventory carrying cost. These are costs associated with holding a given level of inventory on hand. Okay, holding or inventory carrying cost are costs associated with holding a given level of inventory on hand. The holding cost include cost for storage facilities, handling cost, depreciation, taxes and insurance, costs on record keeping, losses due to pilferage, spoilage, deterioration and obsolescence. Next, opportunity cost of capital is also there in the holding or inventory carrying cost. Okay, if the capital is not invested in the inventory, then the capital may be invested somewhere else. So the opportunity cost of capital also included in the holding or inventory carrying cost. Okay. Next, shortage or stock out cost. When the stock of an item is depleted and there is a demand for it, then the shortage cost will occur. The whole inventory is depleted and demand arises at that time, then the shortage cost will occur. In simple terms, shortage cost is the cost associated with stock out. So it is also called as stock out cost. The shortage cost include back order cost, loss of future sale, loss of customer goodwill, loss of profit contribution by lost sales revenue, extra cost associated with urgent small quantity ordering cost. Okay. Stock out cost may include back order cost, loss of future sales, loss of customer goodwill, loss of profit contribution by lost sales revenue, extra cost associated with urgent small quantity ordering cost. Okay. Next, purchase or production cost. Purchase or production costs are the cost incurred to purchase or produce the item. These costs include price paid. If the item is purchased, then the cost includes the price paid. Or if the um, inventory, if the sorry, purchase or product cost. Purchase costs are costs including purchase or produce the item. If it is purchased, it includes the price paid. If it is produced, then the cost includes the labor, material and overhead charges necessary to produce the item. Okay. Next, terms used in inventory control. We always know that inventories are stocks or physical assets having some economical value which are stored and is utilized or used when a demand occurs. So first we should know what is a demand. Demand is nothing but the number of items required per unit of time. Okay, demand is nothing but the number of items required per unit of time. Next, order cycle. Next term in inventory control is order cycle. We should order the inventory when it is consumed. So the time period between two successive orders is called order cycle. The time period between two successive orders is called order cycle. Next, lead time. Here we can see at the bottom of this graph, we can see lead time. Okay, what is lead time? The time gap between placing of an order and its actual arrival in the inventory is known as lead time. The longer the lead time, the higher is the average inventory. Okay. Next, reorder point. We can see the reorder point. Okay. It is also called as reorder level. The level of inventory at which an order is placed is known as reorder point or reorder level. The level of inventory at which an order is placed is known as reorder point or reorder level. Next, we can see the safety or reverse stock. Sorry, safety or reserve stock. It is also called as buffer stock. This represents the minimum stock which must be maintained at all time. This is the minimum stock which must be maintained at all time. Okay. Usually buffer stock or safety stock is required to meet the delays in material supply and to account for sudden increase in demand due to rush orders. Next, reorder quantity. At reorder point, we will order some quantity of inventory. Okay, so reorder quantity, the quantity of items to be ordered at the reorder level is known as reorder quantity. Usually the reorder quantity is equal to economic order quantity. We'll discuss it later. Economic order quantity. Okay, usually reorder quantity is equal to economic order quantity, EOQ. Next, inventory turnover. It is an index. Okay, inventory turnover is defined as the ratio of value of materials consumed. It is the ratio of value of materials consumed to the average investment in the inventories for same period. It is the ratio of value of material consumed to the average investment in inventories of the same period. Okay. Inventory turnover is a very useful index of inventory control. The higher the index, the lower the inventory level and lower the cost of maintaining the inventories. The higher the index, lower the inventory levels and lower the cost of maintaining the inventories. Okay. Next, what is EOQ or economic order quantity? It is the quantity for which the total cost is minimum. It is the order quantity of inventory at which the total cost of inventory carrying cost and ordering cost will be in minimum condition. EOQ is that size of the order which minimizes the total cost of carrying inventory and ordering. Here we can see a graph in which x-axis represents the order quantity and y-axis the cost. Okay, at the top we can see the total cost curve, and the total cost curve contains the inventory carrying cost and inventory ordering cost. Okay, so in the figure we can see that when the size of the order increases, the ordering cost which includes cost of purchase, inspection, etc., will decrease. When the order quantity increases, ordering cost decrease. Whereas inventory carrying cost, which includes cost of storage, insurance, etc., will increase. So we can see that when order quantity increases, ordering cost decreases and inventory carrying cost increases. Okay. When the size of the order decreases, the inventory carrying cost will decrease, whereas ordering cost will increase. Okay, so the technique of economic order quantity EOQ strikes a balance between the ordering cost and carrying cost. Okay, the EOQ strikes a balance between ordering cost and carrying cost. That means EOQ is that size of order which minimize the total cost of carrying inventory and ordering.